Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to be talking about Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. Now if you're from Puerto Rico, or not from Puerto Rico, even if you like Bad Bunny, there are a lot of people who didn't, okay? There are a lot of people who are not into his type of music. There are not people who are what he stands for. Now, I don't think people would be as mad if he wasn't so political about everything, if he turned down the politics right around his announcement and then slowly just became very apolitical for that halftime show, then it would have been okay, that halftime show to be like a apolitical, like, hey, I'm bringing my cultural version of, like, the Puerto Rican version of like your average halftime show, like that kind of thing. That would have been cool. Okay, fine, speaking in Spanish, not really an issue. But the big issue, at least for Puerto Rico, and why this video is entitled The Beef Between Bad Bunny and Puerto Rico is Utter Virtual Insanity, or just Virtual Insanity, is because, well, it is. They don't exactly have the best reputation with each other. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like Bad Bunny doesn't care about Puerto Rico, and it's not like there aren't Puerto Ricans out there who don't care about Bad Bunny. Like, there are people who do, but a lot of people don't, because first of all, he's like a very big political activist, and so he pissed off a lot of people who believed that Puerto Rico should stay as a territory or become a U.S. state. He pissed off a lot of people from Puerto Rico that believed that because of the whole anti-ICE stuff, or the LGBT plus stuff he's been promoting, or he pissed off a lot of nationals because a lot of Puerto Rican nationals, because he said that Puerto Rico is the U.S. He said that basically he's saying that because it's the U.S., oh, I can do this and this and this, and it pissed a lot of them off. It pissed a lot of people off. But the one thing that made a lot of people, like, go from, oh yeah, we don't like him, we don't agree with him, to why I'm making this video, is basically one of the tweets went viral sometime after his halftime show. One of his tweets went viral that he said that he didn't want white people at his halftime show. And you know who he pissed off? He didn't really piss off, like, American white people, because it was whatever, it happens a lot. Big celebrities do that all the time. But you know who he really pissed off? The communities of white people in Puerto Rico. He pissed off a lot of white Puerto Ricans doing that. A lot of white, black, and native Puerto Ricans. And there's this whole meme going around because he said, are you a president or a Twitter user, in Spanish? Well, now a lot of people are writing in Spanish, are you a musician or are you a Reddit user? Like, that's what they're basically saying in protest. And some of them are typing in English in protest, because they're so mad at him. And yeah, he did piss off a lot of people in the US or Canada or Mexico, but he really pissed off Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico, like, the people, like the people that consider it a country, they especially hate him because he made their nation kind of look bad, Like, even if you like his music, even if, again, you're somebody from Puerto Rico who likes his music, that halftime show did kind of make your nation, if you want to call it that, it did give it a bad look, because he basically made the entire thing political without, like, you really probably noticing it at first. Like, there's every inch of it is almost political or religious somehow, Like, there's not one speck that I can really spot where it's not, like, where it's apolitical or it's non-religious, where it's something that I can look to and go, oh yeah, that's something I prefer to watch. Because a lot of the lyrics that are translated, at least from what I'm told, from the people who have translated it, is something about, like, butt sex or something. Like, what? Like, even if again, you're into this type of music, it's not exactly appropriate. But you might go, what about the other shows that did that? Yeah, they did that, but they should really stop doing that. Bringing in controversial people all the time. Now, I get you might want to bring somebody who's really, really popular, but if you're gonna bring in somebody who is really, really popular, even if they're like, big activists, you gotta make them like either turn down the politics or just make a non-political halftime show. You know, make the people just not be so aggravated at that kind of thing. But they didn't do it this year. I mean, the Super Bowl was great. The game itself was great. Halftime show, yeah, not really. I watched it, not really that good. I get that he's trying to show Puerto Rican culture, but we need like actual Puerto Ricans from Puerto Rico. And when I mean actual Puerto Ricans, I mean people who actually represent the culture and are not just trying to use that as some sort of political statement like Bad Bunny is using. I'm pissed off at him because, well, one, he made my country look bad because now they're going to think, oh, this territory is like basically their hellhole. And it also pissed off a lot of Puerto Ricans, and I feel bad for Puerto Rico because now they're going to have to be associated with him for like the next couple of years or maybe even decades depending on how things go, because he's just not the best of people, like Spanish speaking or not. Like, why, out of all the famous Puerto Rican musicians you could have picked, you could have chosen, why Bad Bunny? It doesn't make any sense. But to be fair, it's probably a one-time thing, and they're probably not going to do it ever again. But if they ever do it, that conflict better be turned down, Like, I don't know what's up with a lot of musicians nowadays and trying to always get political. But, like, if you have political music, fine. There's nothing I can do about it. But when it comes to halftime show, leave your religious or political bias aside, okay? Alright? I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody has their limits of leaving their bias aside. But it's still like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's so weird, And yes, it is a, what do you call it? A Jaquirami reference that I said virtual insanity, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, it's very controversial, very religiously and politically heavy, and sports heavy as well. But the actual Super Bowl game was pretty good, Seattle Seahawks surprisingly won, Like, I was thinking that the Patriots were probably going to win, but then they just started going at it at the last half, like the fourth quarter. And they just won the Super Bowl. Congratulations for them, I guess. Yeah, the whole thing with the Bad Bunny stuff is just, like, it's so controversial, it's, like, not even funny, It was kind of funny at first until it wasn't a joke anymore. Until he actually started performing, and then all of a sudden, they had that weird, artificial, like, not artificial, but, that weird alternative halftime show, like, okay, that was weird as well. I'm not a big fan of country, and even if you are, that was just a weird halftime show, Like, okay, what do you want me to do? Huh? Oh yeah, he sung the song. It's this way and that way. Okay then, that was a bit strange. It was a bit strange, but yeah, I did watch that halftime show live when it happened. But yeah, it was just not a good halftime show, Even for a lot of my relatives who do speak Puerto Rican Spanish, they don't like the show because it's so. The halftime show because it was so weird and put a lot of people to shame. Anyway, I am going to wrap this video up, so yeah. What do you think about it? What do you think about this Bad Bunny guy? If you have any opinions you want to give, you can give it in the comment section below, or hey, maybe even make your own video. But regardless, yeah, this is the end about the whole Puerto Rico versus Bad Bunny beef. You know? Anyway, I am out of here, and just remember, stay ugly.